welcome to the 2022 Super Squad Highlights Show. Hey everyone, I'm Jason Rambo from the Dead Prayer Podcast. My co-host, Justin Barker, is running a little bit late because we had a rain delay this morning that has pushed all the squads back half an hour. So he's getting finished up. He'll join us here shortly. Speaking of the inclement weather, that pushed the ladies squad back 30 minutes this morning, and that front has also caused a lot of wind. Any of you that shoot clay targets know that wind can be an enemy. So we're going to hear a lot about that here in a little bit. We're going to talk to some of the shooters about the problems and the issues they're dealing with in the wind. So we're right back out here outside the Hall of Fame at the National Shooting Complex in San Antonio, Texas. We're going to take a look at the men's scores here in just a minute, get everybody caught up with where we're at, who's still on top, and who's still trailing. As you can see, we still have Zach Heinbaum at the top with a 145, 75 straight yesterday and a 70 today. We'll find out from him here shortly. We're going to talk to him, so we'll see if that wind affected him or not. You know, as we take a look at the board here, I mean, we got three people tied in second right now with their three back. Eric Harvey and Brandon Powell. Now, this is interesting because Eric and Brandon are both on the same squad together, so that's going to cause some drama down the road here. Going down through the scores, you know, yesterday we had Gavin Miles on. He shot a 67 today. We're going to interview David Radulovich here shortly. He shot a 67 today also. So if you guys are ready, we'll go ahead and get David in here in just a second. But we're going to talk about these scores, see where the game plan, the thinking is going into each one of these days based on the scores. Give us just a second here. David's coming in, but again, the courses today that they shot. Oh, well, look at this ugly mug joining me here. What's up, David?
I'm just sneaking in.
So he's sneaking in from the back, all ninja style here. What course did you shoot today, David?
I shot the red course.
And what did you think of the targets?
I thought the targets are pretty good. We had here's the interesting thing about what was set. So prior to the Super Squad shooting the red course, it was kind of just like common knowledge that that was kind of the course we all had to straight. But with the wind today, it kind of turned the easiest course into the hardest course because that course had a lot of real low spring targets, so real slow stuff that can be really influenced by wind.
Right.
And so it honestly, it made it really hard. I saw a lot of people struggling out there, and it was really just a lot of luck. You know?
Well, that station they just showed you shooting, I actually shot that course yesterday, and that first target there on the left where it was peeling down in, you could see where the wind was forcing it down even quicker. So I could definitely see that you guys had a lot on your hands today.
Yeah, that was the first station we started off on for my squad, and I kind of just immediately knew. I mean, every target you're getting that comes out is totally different. It's almost like you can't even really figure out good focal points, where to start your eyes. Hold points aren't good. The way I shoot is very important to have a set posture. That was really hard. I struggled today. I had a lot of unlucky shots and then a lot of bad mistakes.
Well, I know your style of shooting, and you rely a lot on the line of the target, and with wind, there is no line. It can dance on you up and down. So how do you go about compensating for that?
Yeah, basically, when you start to get wind, it really kind of pulls to the top the people that are really in top form at the moment. So you're going to be looking at the guys that are, had higher scores today are probably guys that have been shooting a little bit more. And so, had I been shooting more tournaments, practicing more, I probably would have had about a 70, 71. I think a 72 would have been a smoking score on that course today. But a 67 today was all I could muster. So
for those that don't know you, or maybe they've been living under a rock for a little while, you're a former world champion, U.S. Open, multi-time U.S. Open champion. I know you don't practice a lot coming into an event like this. But what is your preparation coming in? Is it a lot of mental? Is it a lot of trying to stay focused throughout the round? What do you do to prepare yourself for the national championship? Because I know this is still a title that's eluding you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't practice that much right now just because that's the way my life is. I'm going to change that for next year. I'm sick and tired of losing. So basically this year my warm-up was just, thinking about practicing.
Okay. All right.
But normally a good practice, I mean, in years that I'm doing well, a good or have the time, you're making time.
Right.
You have a good prep for nationals is starting at the beginning of the year, really, which is why I'm here at this shoot right now, already knowing that my performance was not going to be par for me.
Okay.
Because my mind's already on the 2023 national championship. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to win that one.
David Radulovich, ladies and gentlemen, world champion shooter, terrible liar. Anyway, but no, I mean, when we talked about practice, you've shot literally hundreds of thousands of rounds coming up through the ranks. So you feel like you don't need to practice per se coming into an event like this.
I feel like do I need to shoot as much as somebody that yes and no. I think all the guys at the top, we're not putting tens of thousands of rounds through the gun and before a tournament because we're teaching every day, and everything like that. But no, if I were to shoot a lot before this shoot, I'd probably get shot out. But a lot of that is personality based. Okay. For me, I need pressure to shoot well. This is one thing I really like about the Super Squad, because it's so much work, so much effort, so much energy input into a round to perform at the level that you need to beat the guys that are here. Zach Kinebaum on a 1.45. That's a freaking awesome score. And for me to be, if you're gonna ask me, David, what does it take for you to be sitting at a 1.46 right now? I'm just gonna straight up tell you that's not gonna happen right now. So I can't. I basically need it to be something different for me to be able to get to that level of mental focus and seriousness. So, I mean, I can't shoot too much because then the national championship feels like a normal day to me.
Well, you brought up the Super Squad and how much you like it. Do you think this is a step in the right direction to continue this at these big events?
100%. I think if we ever don't do this after that we've started doing this, I think it would be a big step backwards for our sport. I think this is a massive step forward. We have been trying to do this since I can remember coming to this shoot. And I think not only is it better for the industry, like the sponsors of the event, not only is it better for the people that I've signed contracts with, the people that everybody else has signed contracts with, not only is it better for the people that want to watch, but it's better for us as competitors too. I mean, if you get all the guys that are paid to shoot on one rotation in 10 different squads, all shooting right next to each other. Everybody can watch. You guys can come and film. You don't have to know all our different schedules. And you can create content. You can actually utilize people like me for what we're paid to do, to advertise products and things like that. And then at the end of the day, when I'm, right now Zach is sitting 3 targets ahead for the win. Let's say he wins come Sunday, I can't say, well, he had an easier rotation than me because he didn't have to shoot in the win. It's the most fair that we've ever had,
right?
And it's the most fun. I think it's the best thing we've ever done.
So I'm going to ask you one last question before we let you go. Everybody's talked about the green course. It's supposed to be stepped up in difficulty, right? I know you love big targets. So are you looking forward to that, or does that make you nervous any at all?
No, super looking forward to that. I love Joe Skull's targets. I think that you put the best guys in the world on one rotation, make us finish on the hardest course, and when the pressure is the highest, let's see who does the best on the hardest course. I think that is the best way to finish the national championship.
I'm pretty sure Neil Chadwick set that course.
No, Joe Skull.
Oh, Joe Skull. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, David, we appreciate you spending a few minutes with us, bud. Good luck the rest of the week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
And go get them, bud.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Well, hey, we're going to take a look here at the women's scores and see where they're at. If we can get that up on the screens, guys. All right, so we got Halen Hanks in the lead here. Actually, she is tied with Karen Shedd, who we had on yesterday. Desi is sitting 4 back, tied with Ashley Little. So, and we're going to have both Desi and Ashley on here shortly. We got Kayla Kane and Madison Sharp are tied with a 129. So this women's squad that race is starting to heat up too. This is going to be interesting. Let's go ahead and get Ashley Little in here with us. Ashley, how we doing?
Doing good.
So we just took a look at the scores. What's your mindset? Where are you at right now? We're on day 2. We had some wind to deal with. Y'all started late, 30 minutes because of a rain/lightning delay. What's the mindset right now?
Well, I think the mindset is this is a 4-day shoot. We're 2 days in, and it's a marathon, so you got to take each target at a time. There's a lot of targets still to shoot, and this is unlike any shoot that we shoot all year. Most of our regionals are 2-day shoots. You have a U.S. Open, which is 3. There's no other shoot like this where you have to shoot 4 days.
Yeah.
I think the only other shoot like this is World Feet Test. So this is really a test of endurance and who can keep their mind and show up 4 days in a row.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of the Super Squad? We just heard from David his opinion. Do you like it? Does it make you a little bit more nervous? Is it more pressure? What do you think?
So far, I like it. I think it's really cool that you can see we have a whole flight of ladies. Like, think about how far the sport has come. Years ago, I don't think we had enough caliber ladies that we could fill a flight like this. So to me, it's really exciting. I think it's also cool that we're able to see the camaraderie among all the women cheering each other on. I think that's the great thing about the ladies in this sport is that they really are encouraging. So whether you're dropping one or whatnot, and everybody's watching for anything to make sure everybody's getting what they deserve.
Well, some big news that some people may not know, but you just won a world title. Talk about that for a second. How cool was that?
It was pretty cool. It's kind of like one of those goals that you have that, the highest reaching goal that you have, you're not sure it's ever going to happen, and then it happened. So it was a really surreal moment for me, and trying to just keep it going.
Well, now, to clarify, you're not one of the girls that all you do is shoot. You got a full-time job, a full plate, full schedule. How was balancing that, with going out and competing for a world title and knowing that you got to get back to work on Monday morning? So how difficult was that?
Well, that's all I know. So okay. I think that helps, but I think I keep that in perspective, right? This isn't my day job. I work 60, 70 hours a week running a business with my family. So it's a hobby that I enjoy to do. I'm super competitive, and, I think that's what keeps the drive there, and I think that helps with the mindset. Hey, this isn't what I do all day. I can take a little bit of pressure off. I'm just out there having fun, and let's see what happens.
So as we're taking a look at the highlight reel there, something I wanted to bring up, you worked very closely with both Wendell Cherry and John Woolley, and you switched from a right-handed shooter to a left-handed shooter because of your eye dominance. That is amazing that you have done that and then still went out and won a world title. How difficult was that for you, and what did it take to get there?
It was very painful. I tell all young shooters that are starting, please start on the right dominant eye. It'll save you a lot of pain and a lot of money later on when you're trying to switch. But credit to those guys, because I wouldn't be where I am or as competitive as I am today without doing that. But it was a long process. It took me about a year to get back to. Actually, in about a year, I was shooting better than I was right-handed, but now I can't imagine not shooting that way. But for sure, always please start on the right side. It's the dominant side that you are, so that'll definitely help you in the long run.
So one last question before we let you go. We're asking everybody about the green course. The rumor is it's going to be a tough one. Are you looking forward to it? Or are you still a little nervous about it? What do you think?
No, I'm looking forward to it. The tough targets, I think that's where I can kind of separate. I'm confident in myself and my abilities. I would rather have the tough targets than the targets that you really, you can't miss it. I'd rather sling it out there and give it all I got, and let it fall where it'll fall.
There you go. Hey, I love it. Positive mindset, positive attitude. Ashley, thank you for spending a few minutes with us. We really appreciate it, and good luck to you the rest of the week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, we're still waiting on Justin to join us. In the meantime, guys, if you want to come out and experience this, you can. The national championship is not for some elite club. It's for everybody. as long as you shoot some qualifying targets in your area, you can come down here and shoot this national championship and see what this is all about. We have almost 2,000 competitors just in the main event alone, over 2,000 competitors total for the week for the event. And this is groundbreaking. We've broke a record once again this year with attendance, and it's something you got to see. The vendors here, all the different courses, all the different disciplines you can shoot with both of sporting clays. So you have feet tasks, sporting, 5-stand. You can just have a heyday down here. Trust me, I know. I've been spending all my time busting shotgun shells and busting targets. It's been a lot of fun. We do have Zach Keenbaum and Desi Edmonds coming in here in just a minute to talk to us about their day and how they've battled to win. Hopefully Justin will be joining us here soon. But in the meantime, let's get Zach Keenbaum and Desi Edmonds in. What's up, guys? How's it going? The dynamic duo, as I like to call them. We have two former national champions. Zach, you went back to back. I mean, that's incredible, and you're starting to show us that you're going to do it again. So, Desi, you've won the national championship here as well. Man, you guys have got some kind of awesome dynamic duo between the two of you. Talk about that. Do you guys train a lot together? Do you practice a lot together to get ready for an event like this?
Yes, we do. We compete together, we practice together, we train together, and I think we're good at it now, partly because we have done it for so long. We've learned kind of each other's moods, we've learned, our own shooting, what works well for us, what doesn't, what tournaments we might shoot together, what tournaments we might not. So it's just been kind of over the years we've just learned how to kind of deal with that, I guess.
To be honest, we didn't practice that much for this shoot.
Yeah, we did.
We shoot, I would describe us as probably some of the most active touring pros. Like, we shoot coast to coast every year. I'm shooting as many large tournaments as any top shooter in the United States. So a practice for us is 150 targets 2 or 3 times in the week or two leading into
just trying
nationals.
to get the gun moving and all that stuff.
I've been doing this so long. This is my 29th nationals.
That's awesome.
Okay, so the first time I won nationals was 2018, which was my 25th. And I tell my students all the time, I've been in every single scenario you can imagine here. When they're doing bad, I tell them, trust me, I've been there, I've done this.
Right.
I understand exactly how that feels.
Right.
I've shot, I think it was less than 10 years ago, I shot a 52 on the first day.
Wow.
So I'm just completely out of it. So there's nothing I haven't experienced here on this property. To be honest, once I got over that hump and won, it's been smooth sailing ever since. Trust me, I'm probably the least pressured shooter on that rotation, just because I've done so well recently in these last 4 years that I feel like I'm kind of playing with house money at times.
Right.
So there's less pressure, and I'm just seeing them and shooting them.
Well, let's talk about the Super Squad. Zach, I want to start with you first. You guys have shot together for so long, you kind of feed off of each other while you're competing. The Super Squad, you guys are put in random squads,
right,
and you guys cannot shoot together. So do you think, I know it hasn't affected you because you're on the top of the leaderboard, but does that somewhat affect you, not having Desi there to feed off and talk about the tournament as you're going through it?
A little bit. Not having a normal squad mate is definitely different. We shot a super squad at this year's U.S. Open. Mm-hmm. That was probably more different. It really depends who you're with.
Right,
whether they shoot a similar style or whatever personality they may have. It just depends. Luckily, this year I have a really good squad.
Yeah.
They're not taking a long time to shoot. They shoot a similar style. I'm shooting with Braxton Oliver and Dan Callahan, and then my student Connor Daniel. We're more alike than we're different.
Right.
So it actually flows really, really well.
So it's still a benefit to you. Well,
Definitely.
What about you, Desi? What's your opinion on it? What do you think of what's?
Yeah, I think it's definitely tougher at times not shooting with Zach. It's a consistency factor. When you get, back into the golf cart, from station to station, you're just used to the conversation at a normal rate and kind of talking about the birds as you go. But in the same note, this is a very emotional shoot. There's lots of pressure. So I think sometimes maybe not shooting with him is a good thing, because when he misses, I feel it. You know, I feel that emotion, and I want him to do well just as much as I want to do well. So when I don't have to watch him shoot, sometimes it's a little bit less pressure on me.
Right.
And just kind of internally, you know.
So this morning, you ladies were started on a half an hour delay because of the weather. How did the wind affect your day? How did the wind affect your targets? And what did you do to compensate for that?
So 30-minute delay this morning. It was a bit of a waiting game out on the course, so you had to be mentally tough. We were sitting there, again, for about 30 minutes, you know, in your own thoughts. So you had to make sure you stayed level-headed, calm and quiet. The wind definitely affected the targets on that red course today. As David said earlier, there were a lot more slow targets, quote unquote, the easier course. And because there's not a lot of speed behind the birds, they're a lot more wind affected.
Right.
And what that does, especially for me in my shooting that I have to be careful with, is I get a lot tighter. I get a little bit more hesitant pulling the trigger on things. So when that bird starts going up and down and the lines of the birds are changing, you start getting hesitant, and you're not wanting to pull that trigger when the target becomes clear.
Right.
So it's definitely a challenge to stay relaxed, stay confident, and really trust your plan, even though the birds are varying quite a bit.
Right. Well, Zach, what about you? Because, you know, it's still windy right now, so you had to deal with it later on in the day. What's your thoughts on it, and how did you compensate for it?
I was getting texts from Desi when she was, I think, middle of the course, still back at the hotel, and she was telling me how brutal it was.
Wow.
I think they had to deal with some rain early, and then wind, obviously. But when we got out there, the wind was ripping.
Yeah.
It was really blowing, and it's just something you got to deal with. I feel like some of these rounds, being a 4-day main event, you've got to survive some of it. A lot of times it's survive that 8 a.m. rotation, survive that windy day. I can promise you here, anybody that's come to this shoot over the years, there's going to be 1 or 2 days where the wind is blowing really, really hard.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you have to learn to deal with.
Right.
I'm from the Western United States.
So you're used to some wind.
I've shot in the desert my whole life growing up.
Right.
And I like to pride myself on my ability to shoot in the wind, but it's going to take birds. There's part of it's just an attitude or just a mental part of understanding that you're going to miss.
Sure. Well, hey, Justin Barker's caught up with us. He's finally off the course. Welcome,
What's
Justin.
going on? How's everyone? I was just on the delay on the last rotation of the day, and the delay put us behind. But anyway, congratulations on your Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
absolutely.
That was another, like yesterday's round, I promise you guys, I had a speech, right, last night. The shooting was the easiest part of my day, I promise you.
Yes.
The shooting was nothing.
He was nervous from the moment he woke up till the end of the day.
No, he's been nervous for the past, month?
Yeah.
Probably. Every time I try to sit down to write something out, I wasn't a good student in school. I'm just not, as Chris could probably tell us, I'm not that organized. But I wrote that thing about an hour before the Hall of Fame banquet, and I emotionally got through it. It was
So dealing with windy targets was easy.
That was not, yeah. The
That's
shooting
awesome.
this week, it was the easy part for sure.
Have you asked Zach about the green course, what he's expecting?
No, I haven't. Why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, the green course coming up on Sunday, that's supposed to be the hardest course. What have you heard about it? What are you expecting?
To be honest with you, I haven't heard anything other than it's hard.
Yeah.
I haven't heard any specifics on any targets, but historically the green course is always hard. So I knew one of them was definitely going to be harder than the others. It's fun that we're in the Super Squad format. It's fun that we're going to finish on that all together at the same time. That's it's made for TV, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited that the green course is our last course, because typically on tougher targets, you can move up and down the leaderboard quite a bit, right? You can make up room if you're a little behind, and if you're leading, you know, that's a position where if you don't hold steady, you can start to fall down the list. So the fact that that's going to be the last day is extra exciting for me.
I think it was planned that way, Desi. Yeah. So how's your shooting been going?
Yesterday went well. Today I feel like I struggled quite a bit. But looking at the scores, you know, obviously it wasn't as bad as maybe I thought. But 4 days, so we're halfway there.
Zach, now Hall of Fame. Corey Cruz, Hall of Fame.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations on that. That's, at least I get to say I know a guy in the Hall of Fame. That means you're old. Doesn't that mean you're old?
It is. It's a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah. And you're going to be, veteran, next year?
No.
Okay.
I got 11 more years for
11 more years for veteran.
Awesome. Well, listen, both of you, congratulations on your accomplishments. Good luck the rest of the week. We wish you the best luck. We're going to be watching you. We're going to be following you.
Of course.
We'll probably be talking to you again, but thank you for spending some time with us this evening. We greatly appreciate it. Have fun at the Top Gun Shootout.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Zach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Justin.
All right.
Well,
so,
Justin, welcome back to the show. My goodness.
I told those people out there a minute ago, I said, listen, y'all got to let me shoot first because I got to get back. We got to do this show, and I don't want Jason sitting up there by himself. So it was. I shot the red course.
Yeah. How was it?
Well, you always expect wind. Okay.
Yeah.
You always expect wind when you come to nationals, but it was good. I went through one side, dropped one, and then went to the other side where the wind was blowing out, and then it went off to. I won't say the word, but it didn't turn out too well at the end there. But I had a good time.
I feel your pain.
Yeah.
I had one of those days, just couldn't put it together. Shot the red yesterday, shot okay. Went to the orange course today, and it just, like I went blind, But we have those days.
Yeah.
So,
and you also got to expect the wind,
yes.
And rain and whatever else comes in. So for the shoot, you just got to be prepared for it. And I'm never prepared.
Right.
So it is what it is.
Well, we're going to catch up on some highlights here. Let's check this out real quick, Justin.
Let's check it out.
So we just have a close. We'll be back here again tomorrow with the
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in and joining us on the Super Squad broadcast tonight. And we're going to be shooting tomorrow at 1 o'clock for the men on orange. We're going to be shooting at 10:30 for the ladies on orange as well. So appreciate you tuning in. And I just want everybody to know that these lights were brought in just for me to thin the bodies, and over here make you look a little thinner today.
I need more lights if that's the case.
You need more?
I need more lights.
Okay, we'll have to do it out in the sun.
So
we're going to have to do it in the sun tomorrow. So 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock tomorrow night.
6
we'll
o'clock
be back.
Central. We will catch y'all back here.
We'll have some more highlights for you. So we appreciate you tuning in.
You're going to be on time tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
As long as it don't rain and the wind isn't blowing too hard, I'll be here.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate it.
All right.